human beings learn best when they're really engaged in solving a problem or discovering something new or working together on a project of creativity. And so the research for us is very broadly defined as projects of discovery and creation.
Well, I've always been interested in robotics and coding, and so I thought it would be fun to mix the two ideas together.
During the roadmap course that we have here, we worked with the Scribbler robots and just tried to make them dance and stuff like that. So when I found out that Nick was working with the Scribbler robots, I found it very interesting and wanted to try to do it. For our future work, we actually want to make them draw X's and O's on the board. And since they're Scribbler robots, there's actually a way for us to do that, but we have to mod it so that I can pick up the pen and drop the pen when it needs to.
This summer I was in Turkey with the Haji Muslar Kuyuk excavation, which is in southwestern Turkey, and we undertook a mosaic conservation project with the mosaics at the site, and we did an inventory of all the mosaics that had been collected. We did a cleaning project and like a puzzling and documenting project with this fragmented mosaic.
My major is actually a triple major. It's physics, math, and computer science. We pulled from the physics to kind of understand, how the particles go through and what they're doing in the detector. Pulled from the computer science to be able to write the code, and it pulled from the math to understand how to, write the geometries, what the math was to get, strips out of slabs, and then convert that into, something a computer can understand. So.
Drag queens, with their appearance solely, totally screw up what we know to be their identity, because we know they're not women, but we accept that they are while they're performing. So what does that mean about masculine and feminine gender roles? To me, it signifies that they're totally fluid. They're something that we can screw up if we want to, and they're not fixed.
Our faculty here are teacher scholars, so they are experts in their fields. They do very high quality competitive research themselves, so they are real mentors. They are people who can be models to students as experts, but then they are also expert as teachers, and so they are engaging students in a process of learning and problem solving.
Dr. Han is a professor I do research with, and she started explaining DNA, and I was like, I know what you're talking about, so I find this very interesting. And the more actually she explained it and I read about it, it did seem actually very interesting. And so I've been working with her since sophomore year, and I've stayed 2 summers, and I'm staying this coming summer. So
a lot of my research was just interviewing stage managers, reading a lot of books about stage managers, the best way to do things, paperwork, which is the biggest part of a stage manager's job, and just getting that all together and making sure that everyone is coordinated on one thing.
What we decided to focus on and examine here were people's perceptions and stereotypes associated with the actual aging process. The literature has shown that these negative stereotypes actually are causing older adults to not seek the help they need when it comes to receiving these diagnoses.
Probably had the best summer of my life so far. And it was very cool because my research didn't really stop when I left the library. I spent a lot of long hours there, cooped up inside, but I would also go out and talk to French people, and I had like 2 French roommates, so I would talk to them about how they see their responsibilities as individuals, how they see the government's responsibility to provide equal access to healthcare. And then actually while I was there too, the Affordable Health Care Act got passed, and then we all talked about that a lot more too.
It's really exciting. This is one of my favorite days of the year. The students are so poised, and they are very engaged in their work, and if you go up to them, they'll tell you about the problem they were trying to solve and how they did it. So it's very exciting.